Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another episode of the Rag Company Podcast. Welcome all of you who are watching and listening right now. I've got Levi Gates to my right.
Why, hello, Dane.
The judger of Porsches. To my left, I've got Anthony Fisher.
Thanks, Dane. I'm also a judger of Porsches.
And an owner of an Evo you will never ever see. All right, so, and I'm Dane Hennon for those who missed it. But anyway, housekeeping. Let's start things off. What's going on in the world of TRC?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Dane. I got a haircut.
Very good. Well, that's not about TRC,
I didn't do my hair today, right? Just because I rode my motorcycle, but I just want you to know that it looks good. Looks good.
It's good, yeah.
Okay.
I like the way it looks. Now, in terms of housekeeping or things going on this week, some people saw that we had posted a reel last Friday, right?
Yeah.
Which I think was pretty cool.
On Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. So we're trying to up our reel game. I understand that we haven't been living under a rock. We are well aware that reels and TikTok exist. It's just the capacity in which we are able to get those things out, right? And so we have an entire media team, but much of us are kind of dedicated to getting all the YouTube content out, the listing content, videos related to Amazon and everything like that. And so it's tough because we're finding that really the reels and the TikTok portion of things, I mean, it's like it needs we almost need another person for it, right? Just that lives specifically on that platform. But we are going to try to start integrating that the best we can into our social media just to make things fun and interesting. But I think that Bryant killed it on that order, showing you guys kind of like a fulfillment on the fulfillment side of things. And so we want to start making that a thing. Our goal is to shoot for in the upcoming weeks, maybe 2 reels a week, maybe 2 to 3 reels a week. And we want to do more of that stuff on the fulfillment side. And so be able to go into the warehouse and include everybody there who wants to be a part of it and who wants to knock out some orders. And again, the idea is that, we'll kind of give you a heads up when we might be shooting some of this content so you could get in an order if you wanted to around that time with the potential that order
get a prize.
Could be chosen, right, for whatever it may be, and we might throw in something cool, right? So last week we threw in a banner. I'm trying to get them to really up it. If
it's the kind of order that looks good on camera, there's a good chance.
I was thinking, what do you guys think about throwing in maybe an IK Phone Pro 2? They're like, hey, Anthony, you're getting a little crazy with it. Okay, well, we'll see. Down the road,
you never know. It could be kind of fun. I like it.
Down the road, we could have some fun with it.
Look, here's 5 liters of C2V3.
Yeah.
Costs $150.
Yeah.
That's pretty bold.
5 liters
I
of
see
it.
you bought 250 mLs of C2V3. Why not? Let's bump that up
Guys,
to
we're
5
losing
liters.
all of our money. We're just losing it all because we're trying to appease an algorithm.
A lot.
Yeah. But let's see. So from there, though, I would say other housekeeping things. It was that this week we are going to hopefully be knocking some stuff out for the off-road line, and then next week.
Yep.
So the PNS off-road line is fantastic. I mean, if you guys haven't tried it yet, it's absolutely amazing. We haven't had enough time to create content on it, right? Coming out of TRCMA, it's been extremely, extremely busy. So we actually had some of the team go out and scout locations
they did a little off-road
this weekend, taking their vehicles off-road so we can get a cool idea on maybe how to get some B-roll, how to incorporate that, showing kind of the off-road side of things. Because while Levi, Dane, and I are more on-road monsters, right? We like to pull some G's in the corners in our vehicles.
That's nothing I like doing more in my Suburban than to try and pull 3 G's in a corner.
Well, you see me carve those toge corners in the van.
Yeah, we have other employees here that prefer the off-road taste of things.
Or at least looking like
they like to look
off-road.
like they know how to off-road.
Well, I mean, all their vehicles look like they know how to off-road. Like, there was a shot where Gabe drove his Land Cruiser up onto a pebble.
Yeah, it's a tiny little rock. I thought it was weird. And then he said, look how bad it is
Look at
off-road.
this articulation
I was like,
on this pebble.
Yeah, it does look bad on off-road.
I was like, isn't that thing more capable than that?
Had to disconnect my sway bar and everything.
I hear those Toyotas, though, reliability is kind of tough on those on that terrain, so I get it. Now,
they're just not good.
Other things to look forward to. So off-road content. Stiarna Glass is still coming. We've been shooting a ton of content for, Reels, TikTok, and even just YouTube that we just haven't put out yet, mainly for the fact that we don't really have the full bottle size products. And we'll
some stuff has to wait.
We're looking May 10th. ish, right?
Yeah.
Ish,
Getting there.
around that time. So we're coming up on it, and then which means that we are 1 month away, about a month and 3 days away before we leave on our European vacation.
It's really crazy.
So we're excited for that. Visit all of our friends.
Yeah. May 30th.
Still waiting on my passport.
Yep. But May 30th, come see us at the Rag Company EU in Hengelo, Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're going to be enjoying it. Also, Wednesday, everybody, reminding you, King's Day. National holiday for our Amsterdam and Dutch brothers in arms, so to speak. So we're going to be wearing
brothers. It's a coffee place.
Oh, okay, not Dutch brothers. But anyway, just make sure you wear your orange, and I think maybe we'll be enjoying some Stroop waffles.
Oh, yes.
Maybe
please.
you and I'll pop in. Maybe the three of us will take shots of that König bitter, which I think makes you fall asleep.
Oh, okay. It's just sleep medicine.
It's probably not a good thing
Take
to
some
drink.
King beer.
Take shots of that. No.
Yeah.
No, but I was going to say...
You forgot.
What were you going to say?
You're a liar. You were going to say anything.
I was going to say something. I totally forgot.
How that you came to and you lost it that fast?
We're usually so good off the
Is this what
cuff.
another 10 years will
What's
do
happening?
to me?
This is what
man.
happens.
Oh, my God.
I had it.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll remember it again. Let's keep going.
All right.
Okay.
Other things, though, some cool content coming out because I know people want to see more of the Starner Glass products. I would say that in terms of TRC stuff, people have been saying, hey, when are you guys going to be back in stock on a lot of these things? I think every single week we are getting a new shipment in of towels or products that have been maybe temporarily out of stock for a little bit.
Yeah, and the biggest thing to remember, guys, since 8 weeks, we've had a total of like 22 containers in transit.
Yeah.
Total. So every container has got something different
as
they've been arriving, as they've been opening. And like we said, sometimes there's clay towels on them, sometimes there's not. So, but there's new products, there's new towels, like you said, there's new things coming. So keep your eyes peeled. It's good stuff.
All
right. So, that's really all I got. I would say, sale-wise, I think maybe keep your eye out for Cinco de Mayo, possibly.
I like that. We're going to have some nachos.
Have a little fiesta, right? Have a siesta
Delicious.
and a fiesta, maybe in the same day.
Yeah.
For Cinco de Mayo, what do you say we bring in a bunch of nachos for the media studio,
that.
right? Have ourselves a nacho cookout.
Oh, good.
Nacho cookout.
I knew that.
Oh, I like that too. Maybe bring a Blackstone, cook up some tacos, some
Do
fajitas.
something like that, yeah. We'll
Sounds like
see.
a good
We'll see if we
idea.
can do some carne asada on some nachos. Dane, you like carne asada?
I love carne asada.
You a big carne asada? I can tell you're a carne asada guy just by looking at you.
I do. I love me
It's the
a
cheapest
good
of the meats.
quesadilla. I love carne asada. I love enchiladas. You name it. Although chimneys, I'm built like a chimney.
Dane loves his
You're
chimichangas.
turning into a chimney.
Deep fried and loaded with all kinds of fat. So delicious.
However, I
delicious.
did notice you are wearing.
I am
something
loving
new
this.
Here.
By the
You're
way,
wearing
this
a
is my new
flannel.
Dixon patina.
What do you think?
I really like it.
I think it's one of my new
and the
favorite
snaps
colors.
are cool.
Well,
So,
and we
I
all
like
said
this.
that we all looked at it and said, it looks pretty good. Seeing it in person,
I haven't seen it in person, though.
is
In person, it's way better.
way cooler. And so that's a good looking flannel,
it's
Dane.
legit.
I hope you bring
Yeah.
that with us
I'm a
on
fan.
our UK adventure.
I got a few more in the bag too, so I might, as the week goes on, rotate.
See a few more of these.
I like that.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. How did everybody's weekends go?
Well, just to Well, I wanted to say before we start on
We
our
have a lot of
weekends,
comments here.
You
We
guys
hit
need to
those.
understand that Anthony and I are now concourse level Porsche
yeah.
Club judges,
Yeah, we are.
authorized by the Porsche Club of America.
So they knighted us.
it was
right?
a weird.
Yeah.
It was very strange. They knighted us and then gave us Porsche hats.
Yeah, so that
White
was,
ones,
That was
which I thought was
pretty
kinda
cool.
weird.
Yeah, no, they knighted us with a control arm. So they said,
Wow.
bow down,
Ding,
Yeah.
the
ding,
Leviticus gates,
Yeah.
right? And then they like
Rise,
took the control arm,
judge.
rise, judge, gate.
Yeah,
And then
and
it
then-
was weird. They put the hat on you,
Yeah.
and then there's this weird like glow. That
It was almost like I had a Porsche jacket on too.
yeah,
Wow.
but
But
you
it-
didn't
but I
though.
didn't.
It just looked like it
It
at
looked
that
like it.
time.
Yeah,
and
with
so,
racing stripes and stuff.
But yeah, so I mean,
And then they did the same to you, and all of a sudden, the hat they put on you, I thought was a little. I got the like the ball cap style dad hat, Porsche cap. Didn't fit my head very well.
Correct.
But when they knighted you, you had the brown like sun hat with the bandana.
I did.
That said like kind of like a Monterey classic.
Dear. It was.
Like quail.
It was.
Something golf style hat.
Very something similar to that. Well worn too.
Yeah, it kind of smelled.
Yeah.
But they said arise, judge.
I think speaking
Anthony
of things
Fisher.
that smell, G. Davis had a good point.
Oh, gross. That's gross.
Yikes.
So Travis is wondering, where are the white TRC vinyl stickers? They're probably not on the website anymore, but we do have some in stock.
We haven't had it. We haven't had them in a
So
long
Travis,
time.
here's a little. Let me know when you send in an order. Say, hey, I've just placed an order. I'll go find it and I'll pull a sticker for you. Okay. You got to email me though, Levi@theragcompany.com. Yeah, it's very similar, G. Davis, just like a Pope hat and robe, but a Porsche jacket, like racing jacket, and white ball cap. So
I mean, I
basically
think
what happened.
it's a law. If you're over the age of 40 and you have any sort of Porsche vehicle, you have to have an article of clothing that says Porsche on it.
Yeah.
That's a rule, apparently.
So
Okay.
G. Davis makes a comment here. I gotta just get to
I
this.
know. I was kind of dancing around
Hold
it
on.
here.
After viewing the Batman a second time on HBO Max, I strongly recommend Anthony be publicly flogged for calling it the best Batman movie ever. Thank you. So, G, I still stand by my opinion. However, I said The Dark Knight, right? And this one, I mean,
The Dark Knight
they're
is
right there.
absolutely. It's like a 9.5 versus a 10, or a 9.7 versus a 10.
I liked this Batman.
I mean, and I
This
don't
Batman
think,
was fantastic.
I mean, this Batman again.
But G's issue with it wasn't Batman. His issue with it was the characterization of Bruce Wayne.
Oh,
And the thing I say is,
I think it's fine.
allow it to be its own thing, because I think it's actually a pretty realistic take on it. He didn't have the whole billionaire playboy facade in this one, because he's kind of a broken person in a sense as to what happened to him, and it's still fresh in this. It's not,
if I were to rate it, right? Because I think it's hard for a movie to get like a perfect 10, right?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, but I would say, let's just say this was a 9.7.
There's always room for improvement.
In theaters, right? I would say it's like a 9.1 at home, right? The problem is that movie is so damn dark that you can't see it. Like, I had a blind kind of open during the day. I couldn't even see what was going on. It's pitch black, right? So you have to watch that movie in darkness with good sound, and you have to give it your full attention.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to enjoy it. It's not one of those sit back on your phone. Oh, the scene's cool. You have to get involved. And it's
Andrew
fun.
will physically
Andrew
contest
is
G. Davis
protecting you.
It was very nice of Andrew to stand up in your honor.
Physically contest you to protect both Anthony and the Batman.
Like Bane, but softer.
It's very nice of you, Andrew. Andrew, by the way, congrats on the new job at Porsche.
Yeah, that's
great.
That's awesome. Does Andy Ward work at that one? That's like the largest Porsche dealership in the world.
Yeah.
Or in the U.S.
Because you are
where
you're
Andrew's
in the right
working
area.
in Orlando. I think Andy Ward is the detailer there, the main detailer. Proficient X, one of the owners of KXK. I think he's still there.
Isn't Porsche's like home base for the U.S. in Georgia? Though?
It's in Georgia,
like
but
an
the
Atlanta
dealership
area.
in Florida
But the
is
dealership
what
in Florida
receives
is-
almost all the allotment for the entire
Which makes a
nation,
lot
as
of
far as
sense.
I know.
For the East Coast, they got to be one of
No,
those.
they are the place. So, like, if you get a Porsche for Boise, it comes from Florida.
Interesting.
So I would like to buy a Porsche.
So that's
Tomorrow.
when you could. Well, like tomorrow.
What should I do?
I think what we do, Anthony, is we'll go down, talk to our new friend, Jeff, get ourselves a couple of allotments.
Okay.
Some orders in.
Some orders. Okay.
I don't know how we're going to pay for them.
What's the down payment typically on
I
one of
think
these?
just
Like
down payment is
$100?
probably.
It's like one of your
Think
cars.
I think we have to trade in a couple cars, maybe the
Couple
Civic
cars.
and the
I have-
Elantra.
Maybe the CRZ. I can
the
trade that
CRZ,
in. I
you
got
can
it for
trade that in.
$2,400. Maybe they'll give
Might be able
me
to get a lot out of
You're
that.
getting
they'll
slipped
give
into
me
a base model Macan.
15, 20,000 for it,
Yeah.
and I can.
I was talking to Jeff about how I like the Macans and how I said, he goes, you should get one. And I said, my wife said, if I got one, the only time I could have one is if we were divorced. And he said, "Oh,
You
That's
should get a
a-
divorce.
And I said,
That's
so I have to
rough.
get divorced to get a Porsche. So
If I'm getting divorced, I'm getting a cooler one than the Macan. But
What's the one? It's kind of it's the Cayman, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of more affordable,
it's the coupe version of the Boxster, essentially.
right? So
Yeah.
it's not
Hardtop
it's
Boxster.
not the GT4,
Right, just a Cayman.
just the standard Cayman,
Right.
Yeah.
But I would like the spoiler on the back.
okay,
Well,
that
you
could
can
be a-
That's
probably
my,
like Porsche is famous
yeah.
for letting you a la carte options out the wazoo.
So I want to add that
So-
spoiler, similar to like a Honda Civic, right? You can have the spoiler for about maybe $300
Yeah.
bucks. Is that about what I'm looking at?
I think you
No,
could. I
add a
think that's
zero to
doable.
that bare minimum.
3,000. Is that painted or unpainted?
Probably unpainted.
Oh, dang it!
Knowing Porsche, they have a knack for
Making this
that.
hard for people like me to get into.
But that's you.
this.
That's you
Yeah.
buying a new Porsche. Now you know what's more expensive than buying a new Porsche?
What's that, Dane?
Buying a used Porsche.
So then, how do I get a Porsche?
Because they just have this magical thing where they keep appreciating
No, but
if
I-
it's a
So
remotely desirable
what
model.
we talked about this prior. Here's the kind of Porsches we need, Anthony, you and me.
Yeah.
924s, 80s 924s.
Ooh. Okay.
The Porsche in 16 candles.
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. All
Andrew.
right.
right?
All right.
Andrew,
all right.
clearing
We get
that
them.
up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
And the 718 is what
So-
the Boxster became.
So that's what we're gonna get. 924s. We can pick them up for about $2,000 without a motor in them.
Okay. I
Right.
like where you're going with this.
Right?
Yeah.
They're built basically like Civics and Elantras. Very
Mm-hmm.
simple, easy to work on. Something we could build our own way. Do some cool stuff with it. Yeah,
Dude, I
see,
grew
G.
up in
Davis,
an
there you
Astro
go.
fan. I know all about Astro
So
fans.
we build them up. Here's what we do: get in with Nick Stay Nate. Give
Yeah.
them LS swaps,
Yeah.
like
okay.
a 4.8 or a 5.3.
Starting
we can
to
do
seem
some
a little
crazy
more
stuff.
realistic.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Then RWB swap.
So I don't think you can you. I don't think you can RWB one of those.
We can just call up our friends at Clinched Flares and
That's
put
not-
some clinched flares on them. Those
This-
guys don't do anything
this is
anyway.
gonna
It
be the
seems they just hang
rattiest
out and sit in lawn chairs.
Rods.
So we tell them what our
Stay
plan
there all
is.
day. Like, hey, how would you guys want to RWB this, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, well, we can't technically use that. I said, how would you guys like to ADA this,
Good
right?
That's right.
Ricky.
That's
And
right.
they're like,
I love the
America's the
928.
Disabilities Act, and I'm like,
Yeah.
close enough,
Right. So then we rattle can them.
Yeah. Okay. Just we
Show off
I
our
feel-
custom paint job
I feel
skills.
comfortable doing that. Yeah.
Right? Compared to the paint that we looked at this last week, and
Yeah.
we could do a pretty dang good job.
Yeah.
Then we show up at one of these show and shines, dominate.
Yeah.
No.
These guys don't know what hit them.
So here's the
We
what
can get
I
out with our
understand.
Porsche hats on, our Porsche jackets,
Yeah.
ready to rock and roll.
So I've never truly gotten to drive like a Porsche.
So I've driven over.
very
I've driven over at least 900 different Porsche models. in my
I've
lifetime.
driven one, right?
Yeah.
I've driven.
They're not
one.
very good drivers.
Technically,
they're
the
actually
first
kind of possibly one of the worst cars.
Technically,
I've
the
ever
first
driven.
one I ever
God, I'm
drove.
gonna have an aneurysm.
How funny is that? The first Porsche I ever drove was the dang was Matt's GT3 RS, right?
Right, yeah.
What a horrible Porsche to start with.
I know, right? You just like you're going
What a
downhill.
spoiled
What a
you.
bad place to start with one
Yeah,
of those cars,
yeah.
right?
Oh my God.
However, I will say, right? I mean, that was pretty wild, right? That was pretty crazy. But
I'll stand by
sound
it.
is
The Panamera, most beautiful Porsche ever designed or developed in the history of
Okay,
Porsches.
So Dane,
Unless
as
it's a cross turismo, I'm not interested.
myself, as a person who has spent hours,
Mm-hmm.
days within the simulator, right? The racing
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
simulator
right.
that I own, right? Play Assetto Corsa. I load up some Porsches on there. Those are the worst handling cars like in the game. I have the least amount of fun in
What is
any
your
of the
metric
Porsches.
for worst?
Oh, Dane, they just are
Just because you
horrible.
don't know how to handle a vehicle whose engine is behind the rear
Dane,
axle.
Dane, you
throw
don't
me
know
into
how to
any-
handle a vehicle whose
Dane,
engine's
you
behind the
throw
rear
me
axle.
into the damn
How
Fiat
many vehicles have
500.
you owned with one?
I haven't owned any. I've driven them though.
Dane,
I've
I'm
driven a
saying
993,
I
911.
could drive a
before.
Fiat 500 in that game faster than I can any one of those Porsches.
Sounds
Especially
like a skill deficit.
what's that one Porsche? The black something? The Blackbird? Blackbird? Blackbird?
What?
The-
Oh,
it's
you're
the-
talking about Yellowbird?
Yeah, Yellowbird. That's
The
an
rough,
it's a
the
rough.
one that
That's
we've
the
wiped
roof,
down.
It's
yeah.
the roof Yellowbird,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We've worked on
Oh
that
my
many
God,
times.
horrible car.
It is. It's one of the most
Drive.
ugliest vehicles
I
ever
am
made.
about to fight some people.
Now
right
I will say it sounds pretty good though.
Yellowbird is one of the most significant.
So much
fun.
so my
So much
experience
fun.
comes from playing this in a video game. However, I will say,
Right,
I would
Ricky?
like.
Right?
I would.
That humpback whale of a car.
Do you want to know
Beautiful car.
why I would
Stunning.
own a
The
Porsche?
Cross
Do you want to
Turismo
know why?
rocks, but the original
This is Dane.
Panameras. Bleh.
Here's the absolute reason why I would own a Porsche. The 100% reason.
Mm-hmm.
I would own it because the paint is indestructible, apparently, from
Right.
what we've seen this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
These cars that we saw this weekend, these cars are 20, 30, 40 years old,
get put
right?
through some crazy...
With original paint that have been California dusted their entire life. They have been improperly washed. They've been autocrossed. They've hit things with them. And some way, somehow, it's still... okay.
All those guys, all of them. We're walking around and this car is beat on all four corners. It looks like it's been, it's
I was
hit
just
every
pulling up
parking
Andrew.
cone and traction cone everywhere. And literally these guys, he's like, well, I did some touch-up paint and stuff. And these guys are like, oh, all right. Yeah, wow. Just beautiful car. Thank you for showing us. Looking so great. This is so great. Man, I love the way you did this. And man, such a beautiful, stunning piece of machinery. And I'm like, my Elantra is in far better shape
But
than
that
this
paint
piece of
can
junk.
come back. It always comes back. Like we could take one of those.
Oh,
we could
totally.
refine every single one of
Totally.
those in that parking
Totally.
lot and make it perfect. But that's
Yeah.
what I don't understand is because with how old these things are, right? Regardless of whether they've sat outside or in a garage, somehow, the paint on them is in good shape, right?
Yeah, no, paints are beautiful. It's 'cause
I am
Volkswagen
envious
paint.
of the Porsche paint.
Yeah.
I would love to have a Porsche just because of the paint job that it probably has, and knowing that that's going to last
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
forever.
So, fun
In
fact,
comparison to like
Porsche
a
Club
Honda.
of America is now stating if you PPF or ceramic coat a vintage Porsche, you can no longer show it at concourse. It's not eligible for concourse.
If you do what?
That's what I heard.
If
if
you
you-
PPF it.
If you PPF and ceramic coat because it keeps the paint so smooth.
If that's not a
and
great
glass-like,
advertisement for PPF, I don't know what it is.
no, so they're literally saying like you
It's
won't
too
be able
good.
to.
It's like a cheat code.
yeah,
saying.
they're
So
literally saying you
do it.
you won't be able to show it.
Wow.
Now it just means like you'll lose points
Right.
on it if you do try to show, or they just won't let you in depending on who it is. So like that newer 911 Carrera 4 GTS
Yeah.
that was there, he was like it's ceramic coated, and he was wiping down the car with bead
Dry.
maker and,
Yeah.
and Eagles beforehand. The car was flawless. You
Some
couldn't-
of these guys, I could
was the
totally
only
see
one.
them like the way they spend money on these cars. There are some who would just have PPF installed. Then when they feel like entering a show, like maybe a few weeks in advance, they'll have PPF removed, have the whole car detailed, and then
I could
bring
see
it
it.
in.
Well, that's totally
And
fine.
somebody
That's
could
what I
do
would
that.
expect.
Yeah.
But like
And you
our
preserved
friend,
it, but-
so our friend Gary, who we see at Monterey, he's a financier of jets,
yeah.
private jets. He's always at Gordon McCall's party. He was there with his recently gifted to him 911, black 911
Oh, gee.
that he got from a deceased friend. How great is that? Lose one of your buddies, your buddy sends you a 911 in his will. Pretty cool. So he has this 911 that he was showing me. Beautiful car, in great shape. Some light scratches, but a lot of that was just like touching. But it had some old PPF that wasn't coming out.
Crusty
So
stuff.
he was saying, I need to talk to Matt because I need to get it all redone in the front. So, but anyway, beautiful car. He came, but he didn't put it in the judging. I was like, why didn't you put it up for judging? This thing's perfect. It's actually the best car here in terms of quality
Yeah.
and detail. And he's like, oh, yeah, I just didn't think about it. So that's
would've
why I
won,
gave him
dude.
that gold pack when we left, right before we left. I was like, here you go, man. And he's like, oh, I've been talking to this guy.
Oh man.
So
Wild. That's crazy. Yeah.
Good stuff.
But yeah, like I said, I'd probably buy one just for the paint alone. I don't know why Matt keeps buying them, right? Because Matt loves Porsches too, right? But he gets rid of them all the time. So
Yeah.
But he
must not-
replaces them.
They
with
must not be
another.
that great.
I know. That's what I think.
He's replacing them all the time.
Well, his whole thing is always pursuing whatever the best in his mind is that day. So it's just a constant evolution of, oh, this new thing came out. I got to get that.
so
now.
isn't there? There's something that new came out. That's new that came out this year, or it's coming out.
Well,
coming out
I mean,
soon?
in the case of the Cayman, there's a GT4 RS, which was really hard to get your hands on. But
Yeah.
I believe he has one on the way,
yeah.
or else he's received it. I don't know. I haven't double checked to see if he's got it yet or not.
I don't know. Like I said, it would be pretty cool to. I think what would help me, would help ground me, is probably driving an older one, right? An older air cooled Porsche, just so I can understand maybe like where it all started.
You would just
That
buy
was
a
my
Volkswagen.
dream
All you got to
car.
do
These
is get a
driving
Volkswagen
machines.
Beetle and do this.
You think so?
Yeah, it's the same car.
The classic-
Literally.
Same car.
So
Classic put down.
one thing that most people don't realize is the Carmagia
Yeah.
is just built on a Type 1 chassis, which is what the first 356 Speedsters were built on.
Basically, yeah.
So, and with the same engines, just a little more horsepower. So all you need is a
few
Volkswagen
cars.
Beetle.
The thing is, but a Beetle doesn't sound like an air-cooled Porsche.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does?
Sounds just like those old 356s.
Then maybe I need to start with a Volkswagen Beetle
They're
and then
cheaper.
work my way up.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Andrew.
I've experienced the best of the best in the in the Porsche realm.
Yeah.
I need to experience where it all started, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? In 10 years, I could be wearing a hat like Joey from Friends,
Ooh, yeah.
and come in with my Porsche vest and be like,
I like it.
"Hey guys, just draw no attention to it."
Uh-huh.
Anthony, did you buy a Porsche? Me? No.
Oh,
Me? Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe
No.
I did.
The dream car now
Yeah.
is a singer.
I
no
think
less.
Dane, keep
I
dreaming.
think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
keep
building
dreaming.
That
I think
dynamics
building
of
a
magnetic set is
rowdy
incredible.
924.
Yeah.
I think just building like a rowdy beast of a 924 would
Not
be
even
something
a
that would
944,
be
you're going for the narrow body
yeah.
924?
Well, I would
Okay.
find if I found a 944, I would because it's got
Okay.
the wider fenders.
Yeah.
But if all I could get was a 924, I'd still build something vicious.
Oh yeah, it's still it's a great.
I would build it just to be a
design
scary
from the
monster of a
start for
car
something
that
fun.
people would be like, "Why did you build that?" Because it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. I could see Augie driving something like
I had
that.
a neighbor with a 968, which was basically the 924 became the 944, became the 968. And by the time the 968 came out, that design had been going since the 70s. So it was pretty old, but they just kept updating it with like new headlights and stuff. The 968s are funky looking little cars, but they're cool. And I did get to drive one once. It was interesting. Yeah. Anyway,
Interesting, Dane.
I will
So,
leave
Dane,
it
what'd you
at
do this
that.
weekend?
So my weekend was pretty reserved. I had my uncles in town. I had Scott and Alan dropping by. It was really nice. Caught up with those guys. They were coming up from the Bay Area. And they were always kind of thinking about moving to Boise, but they haven't done it yet. But they've been talking about it for years and years. They just weren't
Should have
retired
done it
at
2
the time.
years ago.
Now they're finally at that point where they're retired and they can do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still looking at the market going, whoa, things kind
Yeah,
of
it's
changed
kind of
around
the same.
here.
It's almost
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a switch up in terms of what to expect in Boise compared to a few years ago. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, don't come here. Ah! And I get it. Like, people freak out. These guys are fine, though. They move to, like, the North End or something and just call it a day and be happy with that. Because they like, walking to markets and stuff like that. So that's their whole thing. They're good
Well,
with that.
and one of them's your mom's brother.
Yes.
Wait, who's
So-
moving here?
So, but he's from here.
They're
He
not
grew up
moving
here.
here, though.
You're not
He grew
moving
up here.
Yes. Yes, Scott.
So
grew
it's
up
okay.
here.
It's
Scott's
okay.
my
'cause-
mom's older brother.
Yeah, he's an original
Yes.
OG.
He left Boise in 1979, but
Right.
he lived here since the friggin' 50s.
He's
Right.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
he's
fine.
in.
He's
So
fine.
he's fine.
Yeah. As a Boise resident of over
he
150
counts.
You
years,
said
he
they're
counts.
buying a property here, or what are they
No,
doing?
they're always kind of looking at what
Yeah.
the market's doing here to see if, like, maybe we could get a condo here
Yeah.
and actually move here and get out of California or whatever. And they're looking and
Yeah.
they're thinking,
Do they
maybe.
own the place in Baja, California?
No, that's a different uncle.
That's a different uncle. Okay.
Yeah. No, these guys are-
Dane has quite a few different uncles.
These
And-
guys are in Point Richmond area.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're on the bay, but
Yeah.
they got cool condo there with a great view of the bay and everything.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of looking around. They really like kind of up by like Hyde Park.
What
that
they
kind
think
of
of your
stuff.
place?
They thought it was really cool. No, everybody got a little tour of my house and stuff. I showed them around. It still looks like a work in progress, obviously, but
Yeah.
I showed them
Well,
how
you've been
it
there a
was, and
year.
They brought me some. I haven't been there a year. I've been there since January.
Not
and
even
then I
that.
had, like,
Not even really that.
I've been
you've
in
there
that
like-
house probably
maybe
half
a
that
month
time
total.
because of all that crap. So yeah, that's not fun. But I'm looking forward to enjoying the house long term. I really love the time I spent in it now. I just want to get that stuff over with the whole bathtub being reinstalled and everything. Let's get there. So I would say that's kind of the goal there. But they did get me some housewarming
Nice,
gifts, which was very
nice.
nice. They got me a couple of gift cards for Liz and I to go down to Edwards Nursery,
Oh,
which is right up
yeah,
the street.
It's right
from
across
us.
the street. You
And we
can
hadn't
walk
gone
there.
in there before, but she and I actually took a walk around it.
That's where I used. That was my evening walk as a child.
gorgeous around there, and
that
it's
was
so cool.
That was our evening walk. My dad would
Pretty
take
nice.
us every night.
I love it. Like, you'd probably like it.
Yeah, every night my dad would go, let's go for a walk. And we'd go, woo, and we'd get on our bikes, we'd
It's
get the
big.
dog. and we would walk from our house to just down Tamarack to Edward's greenhouse because they had a cutout in the fence for the neighborhood, so you could like apple, like you know, like little rascals. You climb through the fence and you're in the greenhouse. And then my dad, on certain days, would let us. They had these plants that they'd automatically close up when you touch them, not like a Venus
flytrap, but not
a sensitive touch plant. And so we'd each get one of those, and I swear they were dead by the time we made it home. Like I had uprooted mine, or my sister dropped hers, or whatever. But they would always give those out. But Edwards, gorgeous place, cool little greenhouse.
Really
been there for 50 years.
Did not
60
realize
years.
how large the actual facility was there. It's basically like when you drive. You know how, my house is on the hill, then there's Hill Road, and then just below the road, it kind of inclines down, and then you have a area where it's like a loop, and it's just a road that goes around the nursery and then comes back up to Hill Road. Yeah, it's just a big horseshoe. But that place is actually pretty big. So you feel like, I'm going into a neighborhood, but I laugh because the second you turn off the road and you're going down, there's this big sign that says Edwards Nursery. And then it's someone's driveway, and they very clearly mark with like a bunch of signs, like handwritten, like not Edwards, because they're tired of people pulling into their driveway thinking it's Edwards, because this house that's right down the road as soon as you turn has a great big greenhouse attached to it, so people think it's Edwards. But could be handy though.
Augie keeps asking for them. He wants some for the.
Does he just want to sit there and like poke his finger at it?
No, he's like, we need to get rid of the flies in the backyard.
Oh.
And I said, there's no flies in the backyard. He's like, well, there are.
He's like, I will make some just so I can have an excuse to get some Venus flytrap.
I think that's what he
He'll
just wants
leave
to watch
trash
him
in the
eat.
yard until they
He just
show
wants
up.
to watch him eat.
Crazy kid.
So
what
anyway,
else do you do?
that was kind of the main gist there. That was for Friday night and Saturday, and spent it talking with the folks over at my parents' house. Had dinner with all them, and then on Saturday, Liz and I got together to go around town looking at maybe adopting a cat.
Oh,
Dane, you don't want to do that.
Taking things to the next level.
I'm going to tell you that you do not want to. Why would you introduce that to your house?
Because I've already had a cat before, but
You left it at
one
the old house.
ended up Dane, after years just.
Have you ever smelled cat pee before?
Oh, it's the worst thing ever. I'm well aware. However, on this mission, the mission is to find a cat that can hang around.
An outdoor cat.
Outdoors, handle the rodents.
So my cats are dog door trained.
Yeah.
It's the kind of people I am, Dane.
That's what I got. I got a dog door.
You
so
can't trust
Donut
them.
bide.
Yeah.
You can't
my
trust.
My hope is that they don't bring in like a mole or something.
Have you seen the Batman?
I know.
Can you trust Catwoman?
Jeez,
can you trust that? Can you trust that girl, dude? I couldn't trust her as far as I could see her. I'm just saying, you can't trust a cat. That's the one thing that separates a cat from a dog is there's never ever going to be trust with that cat. And really, I don't know.
You find the right cat,
I don't know.
like the kind that I grew up with in my parents' house with my brother and the dogs. That cat was basically a dog, and I was great with that, cool with that. That Maine Coon was an awesome cat.
Yeah.
I just want something like that
They will take something that you love, and they will pee on it just because you love it more than them.
I'm going to find a cat that will not pee on things I don't want it to pee on, i.e. anything indoors, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will not use a nice couch from Scandinavian as a scratching post.
Oh, it will.
Oh, it will.
And
Oh, it
I'm
will.
so-
It will. Both my cats do that to
Dang,
all my
it
couches,
will.
all my furniture. They do it
no.
to any piece of furniture. Period. My cats do that.
I'm aware of
There's
that.
no reason you need to have a cat.
I can send Augie
I would
over.
say if you got a small little dog.
That's my problem, though, is the dog is going to be more of a responsibility than the cat is. And that's the hard part, is I'm trying to
you
find
already
that
got a
balance.
dog.
Where yes, and she's kind of lonely, I think. As she's getting older, she whines more.
What if
and I
she eats
feel
the
bad.
cat?
It sounds like you guys have too much time on your hand. Do you want to have a child?
Could have a child.
That's
child.
not
Then you
gonna
don't have to
help
worry about them peeing on furniture. That
I'm telling
'cause
you,
it's
man.
opening the diaper.
That's so much more work.
You will be
than
so
I'm
busy with a
interested
child that a cat could come into your life and you wouldn't even know it was there
Yeah,
until about
that's-
3 years later.
That's
is
the way
so
you want to
much
do
more
it.
work than I'm
Child would make
interested
it
in.
much easier
so.
than a cat.
But Dane,
Or a
I'm
dog.
telling you, you do not want to get a cat. Not you.
And I've had a cat before, but yeah, no, it's not great what they do. for
So,
sure.
but is it? Do you want it or does Liz want it more? Because if she wants it
oh
more,
no, I was the one who
understand.
suggested it.
You suggested it.
Mm-hmm.
How about this?
I feel like my house now is the right place for this kind of thing.
I don't know. I don't know because I also feel like a cat near Hill Road, right? That blood is on your hands.
Well, if it happens, it happens.
Oh, and a coyote.
And the
You're right.
coyotes,
Coyotes.
and the wild deer. It's just Dane.
Well, that's why I have a double walled-in yard.
You
so.
do not want
Yeah, but cats can
Oliver,
jump.
right? Or
Yeah.
Felicity,
But
or
if it
whatever
gets
the
out
heck
there,
you're going
that's
to
its
name
own
that
business.
cat, right?
Felicity.
You do not want that thing. You don't want the blood on your hands. I'm telling you, there's too many wild creatures. You have hawks in your backyard.
See, the thing is, when I was driving up my driveway last night, coming
saw a neighbor
home
cat?
after having ventured around town with
So are you guys
Ellen-
just driving around downtown looking for strays?
No, we were just walking around. No,
Do
we
you have a
went to
net?
various.
What are you using?
No, we went to the various animal shelters that are in town because I prefer to
Simply
adopt
Cats.
that. I don't want to do a puppy mill, kitty mill thing because that's kind of gross.
They don't.
and I don't like
Okay.
that.
So
But-
Simply Cats, great
Yeah.
time. Be able to hang out, chill out with
Yeah.
the cats, or
I
just
would
go to
rather,
Pound.
I would
Pound
rather
cats are the
find
best.
one. I kind of cringe when people use the term rescue, but
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
would
I haven't
rather-
rescued any of my
I
animals
would rather
from anything.
adopt, one.
Yeah.
So-
I get them from the Pound.
Yeah, I mean, if they're
Except for
if they're
Watson,
young
I
and
did
you
rescue him
adopt
from
them,
a.
that's
I
fine.
rescued him from an Asian hipster who had named him Sandwich,
Yeah.
Korean
Oh,
Bon Mai
jeez.
sandwich. So that's what he named him.
Gee, I swear. I swear, dude.
That I like it. Save it. So
Yeah.
you guys went and looked at cats.
Yeah,
Thinking about
went
getting
around
one.
looking
Okay.
and found that most of the places we wanted to go said they're open online, and then we're actually closed.
Yeah, on
because they were
Sunday.
only taking appointments or whatever when you actually get there. The one that was open was the Idaho Humane Society, which I was surprised to find no longer operates up at
Yeah, no, they got the new
airport.
place.
Now they got this new place over where that used to be
Beautiful.
that Mac store.
Beautiful
and it's
facility.
A gorgeous building, actually.
Yeah, that's where we
it
got
reminds me
Sassy.
a lot of a facility I visited when I was around Portland.
So
a couple
you
years
need to,
ago.
if you go there, you need to go every night because they change out.
It changes out.
It's so they burn through cats so quick.
It sounds terrible.
Literally.
Oh man! Yikes!
Oh no.
I would say, Dean.
There's that Dane. Both of your
Yeah.
boys just
Oh,
broke the
no.
bro code with that baby. Huh.
So, have you
dear.
ever considered maybe, I don't know, maybe just getting a bunch of rabbits and throwing them in your yard?
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Bunch of rabbits.
But don't besmirch the majestic feline.
All right. Thank you, DS.
So I'm
Like,
here for both
so
things,
let
but
me-
I'm a dog person. I just happen to think a cat
Yeah.
that's got the temperament of a dog is actually really cool. I
So
like.
I-
Sherlock is perfect for you.
I have nothing against cats. I like cats. I've had we've had a cat in my
when a cat is good,
growing
it's
up.
great. When a cat is a jerk, I hate him.
Like I've also had friends that have had like the best cats. They were like some type of like ragdoll cat, right? When you like pick them up, they literally just like
Yeah.
they're like a stuffed animal, right?
Yeah.
And they were a ton of fun, right? And
Uh-huh.
they're really cute. And with that said, though, you still can't trust them because again, it'll be one day you'll go to that one thing that you love in your house, right? And you'll go to pick it up, and you'll go
like my backpack.
yeah, and
my
you'll
travel
smell
backpack.
it, and you'll go, no. Why would they have peed on it?
Yeah.
Why would they have done that?
There's no reason for that to
This
have
is
happened.
in an area that they wouldn't
right?
normally use.
They will take what you love and piss on it, right?
No, they did. They pissed on my backpack. Pissed on my backpack.
Piss on everything you love. Like you're gonna be. I swear to God, you're gonna be the most tired one day, Dane. You're gonna get this cat.
You're gonna
and
put on
gonna,
your
listen to me.
patina.
Listen to me.
Oh,
you're
man.
gonna go on our trip to our European UK trip. You're gonna come home and you want nothing more than to lay in your bed on your own pillow and go to sleep. What's gonna happen? That cat is going to piss on your pillow and ruin your night. It will happen.
And Liz won't notice.
Mark my words, right?
She'll go,
It-
"Oh, I never noticed."
yeah, that cat peed.
And you're
on-
like,
oh,
it's
sorry.
like it's been here for a while.
Oh,
I'm just
That's when you're
telling
gonna be
you,
frustrated.
They will take everything you love,
Yeah.
and then they will ruin it. And so, but they are great. They're great pets.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're a lot of fun. I think they're cute. However, look when you're not paying attention, the back of your couches they're going to be destroyed. Right? Are you going to declaw that cat? Some
if I
people-
find one that's
some-
already,
Well,
been
no, you
fought,
need to
I'm
have
not
it.
doing that.
Some
Don't
people
declaw
call
it.
it
It's going to
inhumane
need
to
its
do it.
claws for
Right,
being
if it's
outdoors.
Otherwise,
right?
it's got to be indoors.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an indoor cat.
Well
Your
aware.
couch, it will get destroyed. You may not see where it's gonna happen, but it will. How much do you spend on that couch?
Too much.
Okay, how much are you gonna spend on this cat? $20,
Probably.
right? Not worth the trade-off, right?
Yeah,
Are you
I
going to get
agree.
$3,000 worth of happiness
Yeah.
from that?
You'll be
cat?
happier with a child.
Absolutely not, because it's going to piss on everything.
Yep. Happier with a child. That's what we say.
I'm telling
Right?
you, a child might
because
be
children
cheaper,
Child will be
piss and
cheaper.
crap on everything.
right?
Right?
No, my daughter has
Oh,
only
man.
technically peed on me once, right?
Well, it's
But
sterile.
It's sterile. It's
Yeah.
fine, right?
Kid-
But that's
human
the thing.
pee sterile.
I mean, in the long run, far
dear.
more happiness, stress down the road, right? But we don't
Right.
think about that in
No.
the early years.
Potential payback.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But
Okay.
That's not gonna
And
be
on
okay.
that note, my weekend was mostly spent doing that on Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, took Scott and Alan out for a walk around downtown because my brother wanted to show him his apartment and then where he works, his office, and just got a good little, checking out Boise on a very pleasant
Nice.
Sunday evening. Like, it was so nice out there, just on
Yeah.
the cool side of temperate. It was nice. It was really nice. So we popped around, checked out a lot of the places. They, just wanted to get a lay of the land. And now that they've seen how much Boise has changed, they're like, oh, okay. It's really taken a turn for many ways positive.
They haven't
Some
been
ways,
here for 2 years.
What's that?
They came before the pandemic was the last time, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
it's
And
taken a turn for sure.
yeah, like, and some of it's positive, some of it's negative. It's a mixed bag. It depends
On that note, right? Have you guys noticed, right? Driving around,
Right, Darren.
They are shoving apartments, buildings, houses, small
In
subdivision
random
type of things
holes.
in places you would have never
No,
thought, right?
there's a house in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
They just parceled their backyard
Yeah.
into a piece of property to build a house on.
Dude.
And made their driveway
Yes.
the normal driveway for both what's going to
Yeah.
become both properties.
Yeah, no,
It's messed up.
Dude,
I was
dude,
like,
I-
what the heck? Like,
I
they
have-
literally...
I've been driving by places and I go, no way. Like that was literally a plot of trash land, right? And they are now building, whatever else into it. But that's a bad example.
Thanks,
I'm
Jake.
just saying the places I go around a corner and find a new building, it is like mind-boggling how much they're
yeah.
congested.
It'll be like a
literally
month
on
in between
protest.
times where I pass by a certain place and you
Yeah.
go by there, and now there's just new buildings that appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, so on Protest Hill, where the old, on Protest and Boise,
Yeah.
where Big Judd's is,
Yeah.
right
yeah,
in
yeah.
front there was the Maverick.
That place has changed a lot.
No, they
in 10
closed the
years.
Maverick. Then the little duplex neighborhood next to it that had
Yeah.
like 20 units, they demoed all that. They're building a high-rise apartment complex in that whole section
Well, it's gotta
around
be high rise because it's next to the hill.
around Big Judd's.
Wait, on
Around
on
it?
bottom of Protest in Boise,
Oh
What?
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
all the way around.
that was a nice, quiet, peaceful place.
It's a
It won't
beautiful
be
little
anymore.
place.
It was
Now
a
it's
beautiful place to go and eat a burger.
Yeah, now right next to Big Judd's next to them, all the way around almost, except for their parking
No.
lot.
so some
way.
places they
We'll
build
have-
a complex and there's like a swimming pool in the middle at the bottom. Here it's just a big Judd's.
Dude,
It's
I'm
gonna be
telling you,
Big
they're
Judd's.
taking like the Russia
Well,
high-rise
and it's on a
approach
house.
everywhere here in Boise.
Well,
They're
and it's
shoving
on a
it in
peak,
places.
right? So it's
Yeah.
it's a lookout point
Yeah.
for all the houses above,
Yeah.
which means now they're going to have an apartment complex in front of their houses.
Imagine how upset you'd be if you were one of those.
Well, Dane, it'd be
homeowners.
like your house. All of a sudden, the three houses in
Yeah.
front of you, they just tear them out and put a high rise in front of your view, and you're like,
I
wait
would
a
laugh
minute.
at how comically
Hold on a
stupid that
second.
would be, but it doesn't mean it couldn't happen.
It could very easily.
Because that
Dane-
school that's down below my house is pretty old.
Yeah, Dane, you have 3/4 of an acre back there that's undeveloped. You could sell that
The only
and
part that makes
create
me
a
feel
new
a little
house.
bit-
Well,
Literally,
That's
there's
what
the
people
back
are
part of
doing.
my yard connects to the street above, but there's just a fence right now. I could just have somebody build like a duplex up there if I
Yeah,
wanted
you
to,
could.
and they could have a driveway and everything would go to that street.
Yeah.
you could, Dane. It's pretty.
But I
sickening.
won't do that because I'm not a jerk.
Well, it's just crazy. I've just noticed, like, just driving around on Saturday, Sunday, and a lot of these high-rise apartment buildings. But I'm like, who the heck is renting these? Right?
Yeah.
Is there that many people, like, in terms of like needing housing to where like these
Right.
are all getting filled? Because, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's a ton.
Well,
Well, most
Boise
of these
just got
places
named
going
the
in.
most
Unaffordable.
highest unaffordable place in the entire
that
United
CBS
States to
News
buy a
article
house.
that came out.
On
And
CBS.
that's the thing is a lot of these places being built are not affordable to like a college kid or anybody. else or
Anybody,
anything.
period.
It's like unless you're remote working in another state and you're coming here and paying those rates, like it's not. It doesn't.
I'm
make
just gonna
sense.
have a hard time accepting that someday I'm gonna need to move on from here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's very hard. It's
Yeah.
a hard thing. Like, I know it'll probably be what's best, down the road. Maybe there's another place that, will be
Like Idaho City.
not Idaho City. I don't know where the heck it would be, but it's hard to because I have
going to
not
move
been
up the hill. Come on, let's
I
go.
have not been,
I was gonna say, I
not-
feel fairly confident where I am that things aren't going to be changing for a while, and you probably feel the same about your area.
No, I'm
but
fine.
No,
You
my
are.
neighbor,
You are.
my
Mine's-
house across the street, it's
Scaring
currently scares me because it's such an old little house on 3/4 of an acre. I have a feeling that when that house
just
goes
gonna
up for
get
sale,
meh.
it's going to get raised, and 5 houses are going to get put there across
Well,
the street from
Okay,
my
move up by me then.
My area is built out. It's done. There's nothing else that's going to go
Yeah.
in the area that I am. So I know that I'm fine where
Except
I'm
that
at.
big
right?
field.
Except I have that big field owned by what's it called?
School district,
the
right?
School district, right? So unless they build like a campus,
Right.
which would suck, right? I have no idea. I'm never going to say never, but it is one of those things where I don't know. It's up there.
That would be delightful.
we
My
have the
goodness,
meats.
such greatness. So, how was the rest of your weekend?
So
Simple?
yeah, that was basically
Okay.
just bouncing around to various restaurants and bars, kind of showing them a sense of the place on an evening, on a weekend, when it's quieter, but like there's activity going
Yeah.
on. So now that they have a better sense of the place, they think like it's really changed in a lot of ways that they would be concerned about for the better, where they feel more welcome and that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
see what happens. But yeah, that was essentially my weekend. Not too much going on, but apparently it was rife for good conversation anyway. So
Great. A lot
Yeah.
of cat pee.
Yeah.
Great talk. Hot cat
thanks for
pee
talking
talk.
me out of that one and saying that somehow an actual human child does somehow less work.
It
Well,
is.
they don't pee on the stuff
That's
that you
not
love.
remotely
so to
true.
speak.
It
I have
is.
seen
It is.
what that does.
So,
to people.
and you get taxes on that.
Yeah, you
child.
get money
So
back. You don't get
money.
taxes with a cat.
Yeah. What's that cat gonna do for you?
Every year you get a little bit back.
Just pissing everything you love.
Yep.
Okay, what
So-
did you do with your weekend?
On my
Levi.
weekend, Friday, came home and my friends dropped off their 200 series Land Cruiser for me to
yes.
detail. So that was
thing.
going to be my game plan. So I thought, you know what, Saturday morning I'm going to wake up, I'm going to get started on this thing. So Saturday, spent the day just going through it, detailing it, while listening to Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton.
Not a movie.
My
but
audiobook.
it's an audiobook.
Now here's where I was doing it. I had the audiobook Eaters of the Dead playing in my headphones. Eaters of the Dead is the movie 13th Warrior.
No.
13th Warrior.
So you know what I had?
Wait,
13th.
with the
Okay.
13th
With
Warrior.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
So I had that
Wow.
playing on the TV
See that movie in
while I
forever.
was working. So I was like, "Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm getting a full immersive
So,
experience."
Honestly, give me a review. You've had that TV in your garage now for a month.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
It's the best thing I've ever done.
It was the best thing you've ever done.
Best thing I've ever done.
100%.
100%.
It makes that much of a
It
difference.
makes a huge difference.
He's using it. Like, I'm really happy to see, like, somebody
Yeah.
who put a TV in the garage who's actually
Well, it's
using it.
because I'm out there.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I see a lot of these guys.
Like-
They put up that TV, and you're like, that is never going to get used.
No, I'm like
It's just
so
aesthetic. That's why
this
it's
is
there.
what I did. So my buddy Wayne got himself a set of Boyd center caps
Okay.
for his little Datsun project.
Yeah.
So he found 2 of them in Mexico with the Boyd sticker still on. They're very valuable.
But only 2. So.
Well, he found 3 of them, but he already had 3 and 1 image or
they all
eagle
match?
eagle cap, and so he's like, "Dang it, I need some nicer Boyd caps." So I polished 2 Boyd caps, and then I worked on another 2 Boyd caps where I've been sanding them, wet sanding them with 3000 and 4000 grit. They're polished aluminum, and then I'm going to be buffing them out. And so while I'm working on that, I love having the TV on because I had Top Gear playing just while I was working on it. Right? Had some old episodes of Top Gear. It was a piece of cake. Yeah, right? Exactly. I think so too, Darren. So it's one of my favorites. I actually own it, and I own it digitally.
I like Zorro.
I bought it just so
Zorro's
that I
a
could have it because it's one of my favorite movies. Like when I was,
Desperado's also good too.
but when I saw it when I was 13, that
Yeah.
that was my first taste into the Northman.
Ah, okay.
You know, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in. This is rad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get tattoos."
But I
and
know,
stuff.
but,
Like-
but let's just talk about Zorro and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
oh, I
for a
love that
minute.
movie as well. No,
Jane-
it's one of my favorites. So yeah, it's one of my favorite movies as well. You know,
Oh, and Selma
so,
Hayek and
yeah.
Desperado, yeah.
So,
Nick,
and
Nick was heavy breathing. Over
any
my-
any of the El Mariachi series.
All I said was Desperado
Yeah.
repeatedly.
But any of the El Mariachi series,
Yes.
all of them, including the first one,
Once Upon a Time, Mexico is also a banger.
is a great, because there's 4 movies. So But anyway, so watched 13th Warrior, did that while I worked on the car. Hadley went out with one of her best friends for her birthday till 10 o'clock at night. They picked her up at 4 o'clock.
Wow.
They dropped her off at 10 p.m. She went to Wahoo's for 5 hours.
Dang.
That was a workout.
She's a teenager now.
Dude.
That's scary to think about.
Well, it surprised us because Carly texted her mom at 8:30 and was like, when is she coming home? And they're like, well, we'll be home in a little while. They didn't show up for another hour and a half. Hadley came home and she was wrecked. She's not built to be up that. My kids go to bed at 8:30. She was exhausted. Poor thing. But she had a blast. So Carly and I took Augie out on a only child date.
Ooh.
So Augie, we said, where do you want to go eat dinner? We'll take you to dinner. And he goes, I want to go to Noodles.
Noodles.
So we took him to Noodles to go there. And then we took him to Walmart. And I let him pick out 2 items. I said, you can pick 2 things for yourself. And so he picked out.
Get yourself something nice.
So guess what he picked? So he got himself some sort of crackle clay toy.
Okay.
And then he got a hat.
A
hard hat with the 2 drink holders with the hose that comes down so he can put 2 soda cans in there and rock out. So he was pretty stoked to come home with that on Saturday. As soon as we walk in the door, it's 7 o'clock on Saturday night. He cracks 2 Diet Mountain Dews,
of course,
stuffs them in there, and just starts pounding them. I'm like, oh, great.
Here we go.
That's awesome. Yep. So Sunday morning, woke up and headed to the Porsche dealership. Mm-hmm. Anthony and I judged the Porsche gathering there, a little wash and shine. We gave away some packs of Gold Eagles with some lens cloths and a sticker for all the contestants, all the folks that got judged. Porsche gave away $25 gift certificates to the service department for
Are you kidding me?
the winner of the wash and shine.
How far is $25 going to get you at a Porsche service department?
It gets you an oil filter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's going to get you the brochure for the oil change. That's not going to get you the oil change.
The winner of the wash and shine got a $25 gift certificate. The
that's totally
choice,
right.
People's Choice got $25 gift certificate. Right? And then
don't get me wrong. You don't want to be ungrateful.
Oh, I totally forgot. We got to go back to Saturday. So while I'm prepping, working on the car, listening to 13th Warrior, all that stuff, we're going to go back Saturday morning. I hear a banging in my headphones.
In your headphones, though, not.
I'm just hearing this hammering noise, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm in the exterior wash bay.
Yeah,
of the
you're in your front yard. You're in
That's
your
in the front lawn,
washing this car, right?
Front lawn.
And I turn everything off, and I go inside to grab a towel, and what do I see? But Augie has removed a safe from my inner closet, from the MOSHQ podcast studio.
Oh,
a safe. Pulls the safe out, and I go, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Just trying to break this open." And I said,
"What an Augie thing to do."
Well, why are you doing that? He's like, well, just want to. And I said,
it looked like something nice to destroy.
But he's like, I want to know what's in it. And he had already he hit it a couple times with a hammer, so it was already starting to get banged up.
Yeah.
Now
how old is this safe?
The safe's probably 65, 75 years old.
Okay. So it's probably worth.
It was my grandparents' safe.
Okay, that's definitely worth some money.
So he's not the kind of kid.
And my goal, I've had it since 2008. My goal was to someday just take it down to a locksmith, have him rekey, get me a new set of keys, and use it. That was I was like, it's a really nice safe.
Responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
Save it, protect it.
Right.
Yeah.
Start using it. My dad lost the keys. My uncle lost the keys. They pulled everything out, and then they thought they had locked the keys inside.
We are one step removed from your son becoming a petty criminal.
So Augie has now beat the snot out of this safe.
Oh, God.
But what he's done has pulled one pin free.
Well,
and I'm like, kudos, Augie, that you decided to pull the pins holding the exterior hinges on.
Yep.
So then I said, well, geez, all right, I guess go for it. So I moved the cars around.
My grandparents' safe.
Just get on it, bud. It's all we're past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Right? You're just like, I can't salvage it because you've messed it up so bad that you're just gonna have to go on. Like, we just have to chalk this one up. We're done with it. So I let him just continue. He came to me twice only for advice. I need help getting in right here. I got this end off. I can't get that. So I show him how to get a piece out, pop a pin. He gets another tool. He's in there with a pry bar. He's trying to break it open. He gets it open on his own.
No way.
Fully opens.
He's a criminal.
Gets it.
He will
Gets it open.
become.
There's nothing inside.
Of course.
And I go, so are you happy that you got into it? And he's like, I'm happy that I made it in, but I kind of broke it, so now I can't use it. And I said,
No kidding.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you for doing it. Proud of you for getting in there yourself and knowing how to break open an old safe. That's great.
Useful.
Yeah, this is a pretty
information.
easy safe. It was
Yeah.
called a treasure chest. It's just an old fireproof safe. It's not an expensive, fancy, cool looking safe. It's just a safe. So
The fact the child broke in, though, tells you it wasn't that safe to begin with.
he worked on it for 2 hours, Dane, and he had a sledgehammer. He had an 8-pound sledge out there. My 8-year-old with an 8-pound sledge out there beating on this thing.
So this thing was just made of steel, or what?
It's
was
all
it made
steel and probably asbestos.
Of? Oh yeah.
So,
Well, you can't forget that.
but anyway, so he did that. So I was proud of him for that. So then Saturday night I said, you can get whatever you want. He got his hat in celebration, his drinking hat. Yeah, right. That sounds about right. So anyway, then Sunday morning, got up, went to the Porsche thing. Anthony and I judged those Porsches. Cast
Sounds like
our
there's
eyes upon
variety
it.
there.
A lot of cool stuff to see. We were done with that by about 11:30.
Okay.
Headed home, got the kids ready, took them to my mom's, dropped them off. My mom watched the kids while Carly and I went and saw The Northman.
Oh, you did go and see The Northman. Okay. Verdict?
I liked it.
Carly did not.
Carly liked it.
Oh, she did.
Carly was a little more vicious about the ending. She had another way. She felt that this was his first movie that he didn't do with A24, the director. She felt that if he had done it with A24 Studio, he would have been able to do a little more messed up stuff in it.
Oh, interesting.
Gotten a little more
So
psychologically.
it wasn't messed up enough,
It was messed up, but
not enough.
it could have
for
been
family.
more
Because
for my wife's test.
A24 is just one of those places that they know exactly what they're doing.
They know how to mess with people's brains.
Everyone's a banger, but yeah, Eggers is just a
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
so she thinks
interesting director.
so she thinks Eggers probably could have done more, but I really liked it. I thought it was just the right amount of everything. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I wish it would have ended just a little bit better, but it was fine for what it
Well,
was.
better or different? Because did you
different.
feel the ending was
Different. I feel it should have
Earned?
done a little more. It was earned, but it should have been different.
Okay.
And that's kind of what my wife felt too.
Was it an unexpected ending, or was it pretty much where you saw it going?
No, I would be surprised if it was different, but it worked just fine.
Okay.
So good movie overall. It was 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I felt 90%. I think it works just fine. I think
90%
it's 89, 90%. I think that's a good movie.
Oh, gee.
I didn't have anything really bad to say about it. I really liked it. I think Alexander Skarsgård for this, he got huge,
Good action scenes, though?
amazing action scenes.
Any good axe throwing?
Anthony, there's a whole Ulfenthal scene that's insane.
Really?
Insane.
I'm
It's
looking
so
for
good.
But you're
Um,
making it seem like it's not that great of a movie.
No, as a whole, it was. I wasn't bowled over by like, oh my god, it was the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
I thought it was
No,
really
Batman already
good.
won that.
I thought it was really good. I'll say I was more jacked coming out of Batman than I was, but the emotions are different. But they're both dark.
Yeah.
But this was like soul, like I felt I was going to church kind of thing.
Okay.
Really? It
You
felt
know,
like it was
one of
deep in
those
your-
where I
in
was
your
like,
roots.
oh, this is everything I need it to be.
Yeah.
So that was good. And my wife thought the same. She just texted me and said, I feel like I like the movie more today than I did yesterday.
Kind of marinate on.
Yeah, you let it sit, you let it think about it a little bit, you think about some scenes again, you rewatch some stuff. But all in all the cast, amazing, all the characters, beautiful
Is there anything
movie.
that we can be doing here that could improve our Norwegian heritage that we all have?
Couple things. It's going to be coming here in the next few
So I
weeks.
have about 2% in me
Yeah.
that needs to just
Well, your 2%, my like 60%,
Uh-huh.
and then
Jeez.
Dane's like
13%.
that he is.
It's closer to 20 or 25. But sure.
You guys will see it. We're working on it. You'll see it. You'll notice it. It was fun. So we left the movie, came home. I finished the Land Cruiser, got it ready to go. Yeah. So finished that Land Cruiser. My friends came and picked it up. They loved it. They thought it was gorgeous, and they'll always like seeing it because their kids beat the crap out of it.
Sure. It's a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
It's meant to take these.
And in case you guys were wondering, I did a quick exterior polish, interior detail. I charged them $350.
What'd you polish it with?
Actually, that's the one thing I used UCP.
Oh, okay.
I tried UCP 1984 or 87.
Yeah.
And good. And I used the new Rupes microfiber on it.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
It worked amazing. Such a combination. Then with the UCP dry on the surface, bead maker.
No way.
Wiped right off. First, I walked up to the towel and the UCP was dried on the surface, and I was like, "Oh crap!" Sprayed bead maker, wiped off so easy.
What were the
Came right
outdoor
off.
conditions when you were doing that?
That was like 66 degrees.
Oh, nice.
64 degrees.
Yeah, that's
nice.
good.
In my garage, perfect. It was beautiful, nice setup. So worked really well. It was on a silver car. Had some deep scratches. The microfiber cut right through. Got all that out. UCP made it glossy, super glossy. Looked really good. They were like, "Holy cow, it looks so good." So nice, easy, simple. Then started working on those wheels, sanding those wheels, watching a little Top Gear last night, and that was it.
Are they original wheels to the vehicle, or
No,
the
the Boyd's they're Boyd
Oh, right.
Coddington wheels that he has for his mini truck. His little
Oh, but not on the cruiser.
Datsuns.
I was thinking the cruiser. Okay, you're
On the
talking
Land
wheels.
Cruiser? No,
Yeah.
I was working on the center caps,
Gotcha.
wet sanding
Okay.
center caps. So I'll put some pictures on.
Yeah, share 'em in the group.
The group,
Take
if
a
you guys
look.
want to see. So, but all in all, that was mine. Northman, though, it's a good movie. Two
Good
thumbs
watch.
up. It was
All right.
really good. I liked it.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Anthony, how was your weekend?
Yeah.
My weekend's pretty good. I'd say Friday night, right after work, when I got my hair cut.
Yeah.
Obviously here, my boy Dan over
Dan the
at
man. We love our Dan.
Redlands, right? It's a good experience, right? I like going to a barber shop, right? Like my mom cuts hair, right? My mom's been doing my hair my entire life. However, she was excited to hear that I found a nice barber that I like to go to, right?
Because I wouldn't stop
And,
talking about how happy I was with it.
well-
and eventually suckered you into going too.
Dane talked me into it. My mom's cool with it because she's like, "That's great, so I don't have to
Yeah.
cut your hair for free anymore." So that works out for me. So I've been going to this barber, and like I said, I mean, Dan's awesome. Man, he does great work. And today, like I said, I got helmet hair. You can't really see, but we did that. And
Dan's kind of like the Levi of haircutting.
what's that? Yeah, he's kind of like a
He's
Levi.
kinda
But
like
he's
a
got
Levi,
tattoos
but he
and
does
things
haircut.
like that.
And he
I
kinda
mean,
looks like
he's got some. He wears
glasses
the
and-
Scully cap. You know,
Yeah.
he's got some style.
Got the beard.
He says he's still waiting for you to hit him up.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Because he's won everybody else over except for you. And so I was thinking maybe I'll get Levi a gift card one day.
I'll have to go see him.
Go see him. He'd give you a beard trim, right?
He won't
But-
go that far across town, though. We both.
It's a
know
long
that.
drive. That's
It's a
like
long
that's like
drive
4
for him.
states.
Eagle Eye.
Might as well be in a different country.
Yeah.
But so I did that Friday night, and then Saturday, honestly,
Have to go there on my lunch break.
not super exciting. I mean, not super exciting for you guys, but I mean, I was on dad duty all day long. Katie had to go knock out a bunch of errands and do everything that she needed to do, work related stuff. And so me and Lucy hung out for 8 hours, right?
Looked like Lucy was in the garage there with you. For a while.
That was on Sunday, but on Saturday, went on a walk. I mean, it was a little windy outside, but went on a walk, hung out, and just cherishing those moments while I still have a baby, right? And trying to do all the fun stuff we can.
I miss those days.
And,
I seriously do. I miss my days where it was just me and Hadley when she was Lucy's age, and
Yeah.
I had the whole day to myself with her to do stuff. I miss that.
Yeah, it's fun. However, it is like a job, man. I mean, really. I mean, after about
There's
like
not
hour
much you can do.
after hour 5, I was kind of like, all right, what should we do now?
Are you gonna take a nap
I'm like
so I can watch
looking
TV?
around the house. I'm
Yeah.
kind of
Lucy,
like,
help me pull this bumper.
you know, kind of like you
wanna go to the
like
junkyard?
twiddling my fingers, like so. Do
You want to watch me
to-
play The Sim?
Yeah, no, really. I threw her in with me. We played for a little bit, and she wasn't having it. And so
Oh.
it's just a matter of trying things around the house. When, like I said, it was windy outside. You know, you kind of make it work. But then Katie got home. I went and took the Evo out for a drive, grabbed some photos, and yeah, I think this weekend. I think it's this weekend. I talked to Jason. We're planning on swapping the headlights over. I have these JDM headlight cover things I need to put on, and so If I have time this weekend, I might do that. I've just realized that I haven't really had time to commit to any major car stuff that's going to take longer than a full day. And just because of the time, I don't have the time. But if me and Jason can pull it off, I'll have the JDM headlights on there, and which look a little bit more aggressive. They look cooler. And then I need to make a hood adjustment, right? Now, I would love to take a class on, I would like to take a class on how to get perfect hood to bumper alignment, right? That's an art in itself, and I would be very curious to see that, because I watched a video this weekend of it's called ACH Garage or AHC Garage. They do Honda stuff, and they had a red Civic, right? You know, similar to mine, an EM1 Civic, and they closed the hood and they said, "Oh, there's a gap here," right? And I'm like, "Oh my God, mine has that same gap," right? Whoa. And they're like, "Oh, we need to get this fixed. We'll pull in a professional over here." The guy kind of, says some random stuff, and then they literally cut out him fixing it and just go to the next scene. But then the hood's perfect, and I'm like, "Hey,
what did you do?
What did you do?
Show me.
What did you do to get that fitment on there? Like, that's amazing. Like, it's perfect." And so, because I want to adjust the Evo hood a little bit, because the Evo hood, what it looks like it's so minuscule, man.
This comes from your concourse level judging of the Porsche Club.
But it's so minuscule. But I think that before my ownership of that car, I think the hood was propped up a lot, maybe while I was in storage or however long. And so the hood kind of has a slight, I don't want to call it a warp, but it's got like a slight, it's aluminum. So it's got it's slightly off. And so what I want to learn is how to shim a hinge, right, to get that perfect fitment. If you raise one corner, does it lower the other corner? Or you raise one corner, does it lower the front? I want to learn that kind of stuff.
So it's not just loosening the bolts and playing with it. It's actually you're putting a shim
So most people can adjust everything by just those rubber stops, right?
Yeah,
at the front of your, course
the
support,
catch,
right?
Yeah.
That's a great way to adjust most things, but sometimes if you're ever taking the hood off or you've ever finagled it, it can be off left to right, it can be off front to back. And keep in mind, you're talking like a quarter of an inch of movement, but it makes all the difference on where everything sits. So I want to adjust the hood on the Evo and the Civic, but so the Evo, that's one thing I noticed, and maybe when I tackle the headlights, I'll knock out that too adjacent. So and then on Saturday night, I think I tried to catch up with some of the Halo series, and it is losing me.
You're just crying.
It is hurt.
Because it is
just
not good.
Painful, man.
It is not good.
And then I guess on that note, though, Moon Knight made a comeback for me, which I was excited for in episode 4. Made promising.
Kind of losing me on episode 3, but
3 it almost lost me.
The last 5 minutes of 4 make up for it.
4 came back. So then Sunday was my most eventful day. I knocked out a ton of crap that day, dude. I woke up early, went on a motorcycle ride, jumped on the bike, went out for a big loop, and then I was on my loop, which that day was supposed to be a post-Easter celebration with Katie's family. It got canceled so last minute, so then I said, okay, I'll go for a ride. So went out for a ride and was cruising around. Beautiful. I mean, Sunday was literally... It was perfect. It was like the perfect day. Yeah. And as I was cruising around, I said, "Oh my God, I got some place to be. I got to stop by the Porsche, thing going on with Levi." So went over there, hung out for a little bit, cruised on home. Took Lucy for a little bit. She joined me in the garage for some garage organization as I was diluting chemicals, cleaning things up, organizing.
It was perfect for her to be out there. It's perfect day, perfect temperature.
I was realizing that, but then when I started diluting the chemicals and then forgetting to wash my hands and picking her up, I said, I probably should stop doing this. And but it was just a perfect day. So after that happened,
that's how she gained superpowers.
After that happened, I did an engine bay detail on the Civic, right? Yeah. And I filmed a short video for my Facebook page.
Nice.
Just Anthony Fisher on Facebook.
That's nice. Yeah.
Posted.
I saw your wife posted pictures of Lucy watching you wash the car.
Sitting in the grass eating watermelon. But,
what's up, guys?
I did a whole engine bay detail, but this one was pretty complex, right? Because I've done a normal detail before, like on the white Civic for our cheap car challenge, right? I did that, and that turned out pretty good, right? I think it was a pretty good night and day difference. Yeah. But taking something that's lightly soiled but neglected, and maybe it's had leaks over the years that were never really cleaned up properly. How do you go about that? So I spent roughly 3 hours 3 hours.
All right.
Wow.
Degreasing, pressure washing, scrubbing, agitating, everything. And what's funny is in my head, I had this idea. Okay, there's the transmission and then there's the block that you can see, right? There's a lot of space in those Honda engine bays. You can kind of see everything. Yeah. And my trans and block were completely grimed up, right? You couldn't see any of them. It was just a dark black mess. I said, I made a goal. I want to clean that up and make that silver again, right? What's the likelihood that I can do that? I don't know. So I used a couple different things. Power clean, I was using that like 3-to-1, pretty strong at 3-to-1. I was using multiple brushes, magic wheel cleaner, and I used for the, believe it or not, chain degreaser for a motorcycle.
Yeah.
This stuff melts grime off. Oil, grime, grease, anything like that. So I used an entire can of chain degreaser spraying down the block and the trans. That sounds crazy, right? But it's not caustic. It cleans well, but it's not damaging on any parts like that, because you can typically spray your motorcycle wheels with it. And it's not going to hurt anything. Mm-hmm. So went through, pressure washed, 15-degree nozzle in certain areas, lots of brushes. Nylon brushes were my saving grace. Nylon brushes are able to give me the most amount of, scraping power on the engine parts. But I went through, did that, and what I didn't have was motorplast. So don't laugh at me, but I went to the store. I went to O'Reilly's.
Oh, no.
And I got a product that I've used before, but it's been many, many years. It's called Meguiar's Hyperdressing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good old Hyperdress.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. Worth revisiting if you haven't used Hyperdressing in a while, right? I think Motorplast is a superior product, and I think the finish is superior. But in a crunch, Hyperdressing, man, good stuff for what it is. So,
like a glove.
Spray down my Hyperdressing and then let that dwell. Went back, steam cleaned some extra parts, and I was pretty damn happy with how this thing turned out. I mean, this thing looks, is it new? It's not new, but I mean,
it better be if you spent over 3 hours on it.
It's pretty good. I mean, if I were to pop that hood now, regardless of the fact that it's got a little 1.6 in there,
people are going to be like, wow.
Pop the hood.
People will look at it and be like, okay, that's pretty nice, pretty clean. So that's what I was going for. So, good. Yeah, it was a good, successful day of kind of detailing, and then I washed the car. One thing I noticed is on the hood, I must have sprayed a product. I don't know what the product was, but it's a perfect spray on the hood that had somehow, like, I wouldn't call it, it looks like a splatter, but you can't wipe it off. It's almost like a coating that was splattered and then just sat up. But I didn't use anything like that. So I don't know what I put on there, but I think I'm going to have to repolish out the hood. We have an extra secret sauce heading this way from some friends, yonder, that I want.
We've been testing, and we're going to get some more of
that I want to throw on that hood, right, and see how it looks. So I'm going to do that on there.
But that's not what this was.
No. This was EXO and CSL. Whatever, that's what I have on the hood currently, but whatever it's splattered on there, like I said, I clayed it, I wiped it, wasn't coming off. It needs to be polished, but I don't want to polish it unless I'm going to recoat it. So I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. End of the night, and like I said, I had a pretty good weekend.
Nice.
Okay. Wow.
That was easy.
That was easy. Not too shabby.
Well, this has been we've been talking for years. We talked about Porsches. We talked about cats.
We talked a lot.
We talked about weekends.
Yep. Yeah.
It's been a long podcast.
Talked about safe crackers.
Dane, with that said, I'm hungry.
It is
I'm
lunchtime.
hungry for some trim.
It is lunchtime. Let's get it. Let's go get it.
I had to.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We love that you pop in here every week just to see what's new or to watch us BS about our weekends. You never know what's going to happen, as evidenced by today's conversation that went a totally different direction than I would have expected. But we love you all, and we look forward to seeing you over on the main channel, the Red Company channel, for Q&A Thursday later this week. So, in the meantime, have a great week, and we'll catch up with you then. Make sure to subscribe. See you then.
Bye.